right, Samuel and Johnny, you are our reading class today, so go ahead and prepare for reading. As you're getting those books out, let's talk about what we talked about yesterday just a little bit here. We talked about a girl named Cynthia. She's our main character. And then we also talked about how she and her family were patriots. A patriot is someone who loves, supports, and protects their country. Cynthia is a patriot in our story, as is her mother, her father, and her brothers, as we'll see in our story as well. That was back in the 1700s. But can we have patriots today?
Yes.
Sure we do, right? We are patriots. We love our country. We are blessed by the Lord to live in these United States of America, and we are thankful that we have the freedoms that we have here. And so we celebrate that on like the 4th of July, Memorial Day, things of that nature. We dress in red, white, and blue. That is said we are patriotic. We are patriots. So that's what we're talking about today. Now, you will have two words up here on the board in our reading. Sentinels, that's simply a guard, like a soldier in this case. You also see the word descendants. Descendants is like grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so on and so forth of a person. Anytime you see these two words mentioned in our reading, I want you to give me a thumbs up as we read. You don't have to say anything. You just give me a thumbs up. I'll be watching for those thumbs. All right, let's take a look at page number 41. Some other words you will see. You don't need to raise your thumbs up when you see these. I just want to make sure you're aware of them. You will see South Carolina. We know now that that is a state here in our United States. The word sentinels, as we mentioned, is a guard. Lord Cornwallis, that is the general who's in charge of this part of the British Army during the War for Independence, which is what this is all about that we're reading in our story today. And then again, you'll see the word descendants, a person's grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so forth. Let's start on Cynthia's courage. Read the first introductory part and then keep on going for us, please. Samuel, by the way, we're watching for smooth reading today. Smooth reading.
This story is considered folk literature. It was retold by a grandmother to her grandchildren, and they retold it to their children. Finally, it was written down so children could read it today. Long ago, this country of ours was very new. A little girl named Cynthia lived in South Carolina. We were fighting for our freedom from England at the time, but Cynthia was too small to understand much about that.
Thank you, Samuel. Did you catch what country were we fighting to get freedom from?
England.
England, very good. By the way, what kind of setting do we find Cynthia at? She lives in, I'll give you some hints. She lives in an area where there's a lot of animals and they live in a great big barn, most of them do. Some of them have to be fed and taken care of every single day. What do you think, Johnny? What kind of a setting does that sound like?
A farm?
I agree with you, very good. Continue reading for us, please, Johnny. We're at the bottom, page 41. She helped.
She helped her mother in the mornings and learned to sew and knit, as all girls did in those days. After her work was done, she played with kittens and the chickens in the barnyard. Best of all, she loved the little calf that her father named Free and Equal and had given to her very own wherever.
All right, let's stop for just a second there, Johnny. I think we missed just a couple of things. After the word barnyard, make sure you pause for just a second because we have punctuation there before you go on to the word best. And make sure we're not skipping words. You're missing a couple of words like of and for, things of that nature. So let's just read where it says best of all. Start right there and let's try to read a little more smoothly and watch for punctuation and get all the words.
Best of all, she loved the little calf that her father had named Free and Equal and had given to her for her very own.
Thank you, Johnny. Very good. Let's continue. Wherever Cynthia went, the calf followed her. The calf would have come into the house, but Cynthia's mother shooed her away every time she tried. So the first year passed, and then the second. The calf became a full-grown cow, but still Cynthia spent much time in the barnyard playing with her. Samuel, would you begin, please?
Cynthia had grown too, and she understood about war. First her father and then her brothers had gone away to fight for their country. At last, only Cynthia and her mother were left at home to care for the little farm. Even the men who worked in the fields had gone to war, and the women had to milk the cows and tend the rice fields.
Thank you. Cynthia was not afraid, however, even when the British Army camped within 3 miles of the farm. She knew there was a rusty old gun behind the kitchen door, and she felt very safe. One day, she went into the forest to gather sticks of wood. When she returned, her mother met her at the door. "Cynthia," she cried, "they came and drove free and equal away." "Who did it?" gasped Cynthia. "The British soldiers. They tied a rope around her horns and took her to their camp. She was our only cow, and we needed the milk." Now let's stop for a second and catch up on what's going on here. So she has the calf. What's the calf's name again, Johnny?
Free and equal.
Thank you. And she treats that thing, it's basically like her pet. Yes, it is their milk cow that they use to get the milk from every day for cooking and drinking and all that, but it's very special to her. And she takes good care of that cow, and even when her father and brothers go off to fight in the war and she has extra chores to do at home to help her mother keep things going, she still tries to take care of that calf. And then, even when the British Army's camped, how close? Did you catch it, Samuel? How many miles from the farm?
3.
3, very good. That's pretty close. And she still was not afraid, so she is a brave girl. She's already showing her courage in that she's not afraid, even with the enemy camped so close by. But now she's come home from looking for wood, and her mother has told her that they came and took the calf away. Let's find out what happens next. Pick up for us, please. Samuel, let's have you read again. Bottom page 43.
Cynthia didn't wait to hear any more. She dropped her sticks and darted off down the dusty road. Her yellow sunbonnet fell back on her shoulders, and her brown curls were covered with dust. 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, she trudged along. At last she reached the British camp, and as she approached the house of the general, the sentinels challenged her. Although Cynthia heard them, she marched past them without a word.
Thank you, Samuel. Oh, I saw thumbs up from Johnny and Samuel. They were paying attention. Good job, guys. You saw our word sentinels in your reading. So, she has run 3 miles? She's walked 3 miles. That's a long walk. And she's upset. So to her, it doesn't seem like it takes long at all. So she goes straight to the British camp. But that's the enemy. She doesn't care. She is so concerned about that calf. Let's see what happens now. She's going straight past the sentinels, the guards. Now, ooh, Johnny, can you continue for us, please?
Cynthia walked into the very room where the General Lord
Sound it out.
Cornwallis.
Very good. Now let's say that all together. That name.
Lord Cornwallis.
Thank you. Continue.
And his officers were eating dinner. Just inside the doorway, Cynthia stopped and made a curtsy.
Yes.
Lord Cornwallis glanced up and saw her.
Thank you, Johnny. Good job correcting yourself, by the way. So she has come right up to Lord Cornwallis. And what did it say she did? She made a curtsy. Do you remember what a curtsy is? That's an unusual word. We don't use that word much. That would be like if you were a lady, you come right up. It's a sign of respect. And you would just, almost like a half bow. And you just pull the dress to the side. It's just a little way of saying, I'm showing you respect. That's basically what that was. Look at the top of 45. Let's see what happens. "I am Cynthia Smith," she said gravely. That means she's being very serious. Your men have taken my cow, and I have come to take her home again, if you please. Your cow? Inquired Lord Cornwallis. Yes. The soldiers took her away with a rope, said Cynthia. Where do you live? Asked the general, Samuel.
3 miles away with my mother. Have you no father? Yes, and 3 brothers. Where are they? They're in the army. Are they rebels? Of course, said Cynthia. You're a rebel too? Cynthia nodded proudly. I have to be, she said. And now how about that cow of yours? Her name is Free and Equal, said Cynthia.
Thank you, Samuel. Then you think she would not like to give milk to British soldiers? Cynthia shook her head. She would kick, said the little girl. She always kicks unless I milk her. The soldiers laughed until the room echoed. Cynthia stood still and waited, but her face flushed. Oh, that means she's feeling a little bit embarrassed. Perhaps these men were only making fun of her after all. Then Lord Cornwallis saw her face. Johnny?
Come here, my little maid, he said. Your cow shall be safe in your barn tonight. Then he unfastened the pair of silver buckles which he wore at his knees and offered them to Cynthia.
Thank you, Johnny. That word is unfastened. That T is silent. Say that word for me, please.
Unfastened.
Thank you. Good reading. Perhaps you will accept these buckles as a gift from General Cornwallis, who would never want to hurt a little maid, he said. Cynthia made a curtsy and clasped the shining buckles in her hands. Then she darted out of the room and hurried home. A few hours later, the cow herself appeared, led by a red-coated soldier. She wouldn't let us milk her, said the soldier with a grin as he gave the rope to Cynthia. As for the buckles, they belong now to one of Cynthia's descendants. For there was a real cow and a real Cynthia, just as well as a real Cornwallis. Oh, did you catch that last paragraph? By the way, did you catch the word descendants? I saw one of you lift your hands, or your thumbs rather. So what this says is it was a real story. This wasn't make-believe. This really happened. That makes it all the more exciting and very neat and cool. So Cynthia was very brave. Let's look at the think about it questions. So why were Cynthia and her mother alone on the farm? Do you remember? We hinted at it at the beginning.
Well, because her brothers and father were fighting in the war.
Very good, Samuel. You're exactly right. They were fighting the war for independence. And Johnny, what happened while Cynthia was gathering sticks?
The British soldiers took her cow.
Very good. They took the cow. And what was that cow's name? Free
and Equal.
That's correct. And Samuel, what did Cynthia do that was so very brave?
She walked right up to Lord Cornwallis and demanded her cow be returned.
Absolutely. Did she not know how dangerous that was? To go straight up to the enemy, the general of that area, at least of the enemy soldiers there. She went straight up to him, demanding that they give her that cow back. What do you think made General Cornwallis return the cow? I wouldn't say there's a right or wrong answer here. I'm just interested in your opinions. What do you think made Lord Cornwallis say, you know what, I want to give her that cow back? Yes, Johnny, what do you think?
Well, he's a general, so maybe he respected her courage for being such a young girl.
I believe you're right, and you hit the key word. He respected her. Because she wasn't rude, she wasn't unkind, but she was very concerned about her calf, and she wanted him to give it back, and she knew he was the one that had the authority to do it. I believe he respected her because she respected him, and she was very brave and courageous. Now, in your reading tonight, you're going to start on page 48. We've already got the pages written down in your homework assignment pad. You're going to read about an experiment done by Benjamin Franklin. Oh, I bet you know his name. He's associated with many things throughout our history. You will be reading about an experiment he did when he was a young boy. You'll be reading about that in tonight's homework. You are done with reading for now. Thank you. You may close your books and prepare for the next class.